Okay. May I wearing these glasses, okay? Strange? From Chuje Inje Porone to Sonje Ganje Ngavanya Ronsan Jugu Satan. Zavelam Shabla Sorvande, Dasondrovolona Chula Yer, Sosum Dunga Chandra Chejin Chen, Yasome Ponchiva Jellas. Semchen Tan the near the Donchana, Tambanan Junun Tazard, so. First, I want to send in you my greeting or Tashidele. I think today is everybody is a little bit maybe and tired. Everybody attended the holiness empowerment. And we in Dharma City, everybody attend this morning, 4:30, we get up and watch and listen, wonderful teaching. And everybody a little bit exhausted, but we decided also we can study. I hope you are come back. Then out this subject matter, the word of my perfect teacher, the Kanzon La Michalon, first Patrul Rinpoche's book. And this one is the quite really extraordinary, and it is talking about our situation and reality. And it itself has the 12 like chapters. First, like a common preliminary practice, or it is a beginner. This one has 6 chapters. We are on the 3rd chapter, defects of the samsara. I mean, it's like we call the defects of the samsara. And we look at the globally how it is we have our situations. Of course, we have the different country, different circumstances, different lifestyle, different we have experience. That is the obvious, it's the truth. For instance, we already traveled like different state, like hell, hungry ghosts, animals. And today we are in the human realms, and someone's touched my computer. Already this, why you touched? No? Okay. In the human existence, what do you think? We are very happy. We are happy, but we are totally free from sufferings? Or we are not. If we say it's like we are not really free from the suffering, But then it's like which type of we have sufferings. In the book described saying that 3 type of the fundamental sufferings and 4 stream of sufferings: birth, old age, sickness, and death. Of course, there is also different type of the sufferings. And when we are analyze and in our human situations, we are really extraordinary. In the book or in the Buddha's teaching say, humans is incredible, humans is precious, and humans extraordinary. Of course, we already studied in the analysis of the human part, the difficult to find human existence. And in there, the explanation of the human beings, there are also different type of the human beings. And like kind of the precious human existence, meaningless human existence, and anti-return of the human existence. And there are many kind of the 5 type of the different human beings. It is true, someone's very compassionate, really kind of understand the situation, very much wise and extraordinary. And someone is it's just a normal life. They can earn money, they can selfishly or to taking care of the self quite well. And someone is all the time doing the negative, hurting and killing, but they never be happy, and doing all life is negative things. And kind of we call the meaningless life. It's abstain the human existence, but not very much benefit. All the time is hurting and involved different evil actions. And like this, and that we know, and then is we already kind of the more to check. We have different type, different experience, different, of course, there's the situation. And like this, then is also now we obtain the human existence, and then but how much we are doing some positive things. I mean, what we are, how much or what we are doing, the cause of the happiness. And the cause, the happiness and the sorrow, samsara or nirvana, whatever you say. And this one is without a cause, it's never appear, 100%. This is logically. In the relatively, everything is, there is some, is appear from the cause. That is obvious. And therefore, our happiness, our sorrow also itself has cause. In the Buddhist and the Buddha's teachings perspective, the cause of the happiness is a more beneficial, like a kind of the 10 positive actions. And in the Buddhist perspective, the cause of the sufferings, sorrow, it is 10 negative actions. And now, when we look at in our life, how much we undertaking the action of the positive or negative, we need to check ourselves. And of course, sometimes whatever we do, there is involvement of negative things. For example, even if someone says, I'm only eat tsamba and drink tea, and that is in my life I did, then as I haven't got negative actions. And some in Tibetan people, they say is like, I never kill, never like doing some other negative actions. But also this, when you eat tsamba and tea, drink tea, also that is like when we look very carefully, it's a produced tsamba and tea are quite very negative way. And like today we are like more investigate is the tea. Yesterday says like how is the tea comes. In Tibet it's like maybe some in the low areas, maybe there are some grow teeth, but most times in the part border of the China, like they need to transport from in the tea areas to the Tatsindo. And the ancient times, there's no kind of transportations, they like kind of the, how do you say, it's like to bring in the Tatsindo between Tibet and China, and only humans transport. And it's not, there is other things, not a car, any kind of vehicle, animals. And also those, the transporter or the carriers, very much poor people. They kind of, that is like they get job. Then they load this tea, they carry 120 kilo. And in Chinese, some areas, like we say, it's like 240, like weight. But it's like this different counting. And then it's like when they are carrying, of course, they're very special way. I'm like kind of in my paragraphs saying, taking the wheat on a band around his forehead, and his or her sometimes is most is like men, and those poor families, the mother is taking care, kind of stay at home, fathers to get this kind of job, and then they carry, and sometimes also it's like mothers also to try to get something. Then they are like kind of put the rope is here, and then it's like in the back there's a huge heavy tea, and which wears away his skin, but even when his skill shows through, all white he carries on it. Sometimes it's like too long times to put the ropes here, like almost it is like skin's gone and big wound, and sometimes but this one's very strong, and still they are blooding, but they are carrying because they have problem, lack of food, clothes, and also it's like very poor, and it's not a kind of that they, like why they are carrying, because they are suffering. In the life, there are not really much food, drink, things. Then they try to this sort of get job, then they carry. And of course, from the Dotok means is the, that's in Do, is the border. And this one word from that, then need to like upload or load to the Tibet. Then there is like different animals you call the Nzo. Nzo means like Mother is yak, father is buffalo or the cow. Boo, like a cow, special cow. They have very, very strong, like a little bit, looks like a Western cow. Big, strong, can go very long times. Then is a yak, and the mules. Mule is also, mother is a horse, father is a donkey, and also very, very strong. Take over their backs, breakings. Yesterday we already say like they can to carry long times, day and day, from Dotoxin. Doto means Tatsindo into some Tibet, Central Tibet, North Tibet, and the south. Like there's sometimes months they need to traveling. There's bellies perforated with cuts, and it's like kind of in the belly side. They like kind of the hair is gone, and then it's like this saddle is not very good, and in the behind, near in the how do you say arbum like this here, and also they have very much big wound, and sometimes blooding, and sometimes they're very big and strange, very hard, and they recovered, but they never become normal like their body, and patched of their hair, chafed away. Of course, they kind of to losing the hair, and sometimes like big kind of hole inside, and the saddle is not very good. Then they are suffered terrible from the like kind of the servitude, but they cannot to avoid, because the humans are like kind of the using to them, and they cannot escape. They need to carry day and day, and difficult to get to full of the grass, and difficult to get the really properly water, and then there are months they need to carry into Tibet. And in this perspective, even the battering the tea involves nothing but a series of broken promised. And of course, then the tea is finally arrive into Tibet, and then they are like kind of the selling business. He says that they may be bought very ugly tea in China, maybe very cheap, but they arrive in Tibet, they cheating, and they go to some in the countryside. My tea is the best tea, very expensive, and this you got it almost that you become the deathless. And they all the time is like kind of cheating and fool. And like this, they can do like many different ways, cheating and argument. You didn't give me this kind of price. I pay from the Tatsindo like this. Oh, I don't want you. And then it's like old people. I remember when I was young, tea is very rare. Only for old people can get. And the youngest is never ever get tea. When I was young, it's never. Sometimes I robbed my parents' tea. And it's like children's all the time hot water inside milk. That is no. When we got a cup of a little bit of tea, it's like very strange, tasty like this. And then it's like very rare, and then they are kind of hungry. They no choice. They try to buy. But of course there are many cheaters. Until finally the tea is like changed hand to hand. Sometimes they give like kind of, no mothers has like a lamp's skin, and very small young lamps, and the skin's very soft, very, like more soft than the Kashmiri. And this is very in Tibet. It's like when you make chuba and like doing something, it's very expensive, soft. And then it's usually in exchange for the animals' product, like wool and lamb's skins. And then it's like lamb's skin and wools. Also, it's like really how it is much the involved and negative things. Now, wools in the summer before shearing, like nomads, the sheep shearing to take out the wools. Of course, I did many times, but sometimes in the summer, and each sheep's in the back, like kind of the like a tick or it's like some insect. It's millions they have on the back of these sheep, and then you are sharing timers. It's almost you kill all of them. Afterward, sometimes you like kind of tune and to put in the sack. They're going to die, like kind of die up because there's no food. And it's the like kind of the crawling with the fleece. And ticks, fleece is like special sheep, like insect in the wool. And also tick is not like dangerous tick, but there are many different type of the ticks. And other small creatures as the numerous as the stand of the wool themselves, because they are like, when you in the one house child, some nomads, they share the sheep's wool, then collect, they have big kind of pipe of the wools. Then children's like kind of go inside, jumping in. Just if you have 5 minutes to stay there and you get up, in your body, on your cloth, full of this thick and how to say, like fleece, like this kind of animals, a lot. And like this, then they are kind of into this wall, and then nomads, they put into the sack, and then they sell into the China and different, and like different cotton factories. And then they go to put in the special hot water. They burn all these insects to kill him. And also, of course, they separated and from like a sheep, and sometimes they many like kind of die up on the wall. And during those insects, like kind of the shearing, most of those insects are like decapitated, like kind of the like cut or dyed a very special way. And it's just like when you are using the scissors, and scissors, wow, kill so many to them, cut into all the like the disemboweled, I don't know, disemboweled one means it's like kind of they make the piece different, like kind of part. And those like whoever dwell in this animals' wool, these sheep wools, and those not killed remain stuck in the wool, maybe in the wool, and then it's of course they're like suffocated. Means it's like sometimes like to make the kind of the rope, and then everything is like suffocated. Means it's like kind of the with wool and to turn, even that they cannot to run out because they are sink or like kind of they merge into the stock into the wool. They died, all of them, and this can only lead to low rebirth. And when you do like this, it's like everything is, our actions is very difficult, say it's like without connect to negative actions. Even small like these things. Of course, it's like, for example, in our ears, we can to say, well, when we eat bread, when we eat butter, when we eat yogurt, when we eat like this, these things also such a kind of involvement of the negative things. And then it's like we done the negative things. Of course, the result is the sufferings. And also next it says that as the far lamb sinking, remember that newborns, like young lamb means it's like very young, maybe few months. When I was in Ando, sometimes communists, they killed hundreds. As this lamb, small sheep, is like kind of 2-3 months years old, and they are very enjoyed with the mother. And then suddenly is someone's coming and to take the baby and killed. Sometimes the mother's whole day, few days is like a cry and calling to her baby. And they do like this. And of course, it's natural someone died, this collected, it's okay, but sometimes it's like they make the skin because business. Newborn is just a few months. Lamb have all their organs of the sense. They are really beautiful, it's cute, really very nice. It's when I was in Amdo, and when I took those sheep into the mountain, all the mothers is like eating grass. All the lamb babies is coming together, then they play. It's like they are a little bit some earth or rock, something strange. They are coming together hundreds, and then they jumping, dancing, running around. And I'm sometimes go in the middle and I play with them. It's very feelings, very, very nice. Of course, in the Tibetan sheep, it's a little bit difficult to be close. They run away. But those babies has never run away. And they are coming to, you can to catch like this. And certainly they are a little bit hungry and they run into the middle of the mothers. And mothers, they individual. For example, our families maybe like 1,000, 2,000 sheep, like a male. But they never ever missed each like mothers and the child. They all the times they recognize each which mother, which like child. It's amazing. But sometimes they kill like this. It's a horrible way like this. They do like this, really they have the sense. They feel pleasure and the pain. And then that moment they kill the children and the mother of the sheep, how much they are suffering. And then these human beings, they make in the very expensive clothes. And then it's like they selling, says, aha, very good. And kind of says, I'm very warm and nice. But those animals lost already alive. So therefore, sometimes it's like some lamas, they're good practitioner, compassionate, even they never wearing like a kind of skin, like really animals, leather. And all the time it's like never connect to any leathers. And just as they are enjoying their first instance of the life, they are really to reborn in this world. Of course, connect to the human beings, and they are like kind of the all a little bit kind of the grow up. And a few months after that, this young baby of the sheep is very beautiful. They are very happy. This is like normal, any kind of babies. And like kind of the really instant of the first life. And then there is like the perfect health. They are like kind of never done bad things, but humans is coming, and then they kill for the cloth. And like this, in these situations, of course, our human beings, and there is like something, everything is connected to the negatives. For example, we can to say ourselves here, okay, I'm buying cotton to make my cloth is the cotton. Also, cotton is not really easily to produce. Of course, the something comes from tree, maybe it's okay. The most expensive cloth is come from the animals. And like this, for example, yesterday we mentioned like silks and like cashmeres, and most like those expensive and clothes, like valuable clothes, are the come from animals. And how much we make sufferings when they take out this how do you say, the really the basic, which kind of producing expensive clothes. And like this, then we look at those animals. Already we analyze a lot. Perhaps they are the only stupid animals. Animals already we analyze it. Animals are very much stupid, and human beings is like a tortured, and also is like kind of killing, eating, whatever we do. This is like already we analyze. This is the animals like kind of alive. They cannot escape from us. They cannot to run from us, and they are very much stupid. They haven't got any other kind of the skillful methods. Whatever human beings do like they need to kind of follow. But like nevertheless, they do not want to die. Of course, absolutely, they are like same. We look at the animals, and someone's killing or someone's to make the disturb. Even like kind of some animals is like going to bush. Really, they're crying. And once I was in the town, and like in that autumn, they are killing animal like yaks. Oh my gosh, 1,000 yaks they're killing. That time is like communisms, and one is like a guy, he's a killer. Wow. And then it's like a front yaks killing, and behind yaks there's like absolutely tear is coming. And they know like this, therefore they don't want to die as long as they can have life. And also it's like absolutely, when we are a little bit disturbed to them, they how much they're scary, they try to escape, they try to run. We just, when we look at the animal plant, we can to see they are like cannot talk, they cannot to how do we say, it's difficult to communicate, but they are same as the human beings. They love life to survive, how long they can to stay. And so far they are the tortured and the slaughtered. And then it's like how much our human beings is to making the negative actions. Then of course it's also we are like kind of the problems. And as far as the ever those little ones have been the killed, and those kind of the one is the killed babies, they kind of the of course different mothers, and like they are the loving example of the sorrow experienced by mother who lost their only child. And of course those like small babies they killed, the mothers they lost their own child, then of course how much is the sufferings. It is the amazing kind of things. And like sometimes this animals is inconceivable. You know, for example, is the crane. Crane is a bird. You crane, yes? Crane, do you know? Crane, yes, big birds. In Tibet, in the like kind of the high altitudes they have. And they are like really better than the almost human beings. And they're like some areas when I was, every year they come back. In the winter times, where they are fly, we don't know. And the summer is they come back. They looks like same, of course, difficult to do, but all the times. And then this summer they make nest, and then they like kind of make children. And then this baby, the current baby, to grow up in the autumn, they already matured, then they fly together, parents, in some hot place. They few times traveling, then they separated. Then these children want to get another partner, then parents just forget it. Parents won't come back, other create children. But during the summer, this baby chick, and one day some animals or human, I don't know, to killed, and then they are searching. When you look at them, every day searching, they are making sound. They don't much to say, but this nest, they round and round, they go to. And then it's like this sorrow is carrying. In the winter times, they go back, there is hot place. Next times they come back, still this sorrow, sufferings there. They don't want to produce new one. Sometimes they can't get, and they can't forget. They kind of they neck each other, their parents. They kill each other, they die same place. It's like so much sufferings. For example, sometimes these birds, they lose their partners someone killed or died, and then other one is a few months, they are checking, searching, calling, and never come back. Of course, they died or killed, and then this other one is put head into the sand and then makes the suicide. And they have this kind of sense. They have kind of the, it's the feeling. And like this, when we are killing the animal's child, for example, sometimes in the Westerns we do, and the cows, maybe we can take out. Maybe it's like a few months we like kind of to taking care with the mother, and a few months, then they kill, because it's like very soft meat. And yes, sometimes it's like really, I ate it, sorry, but it's, I don't know, very strange taste. But it's like this, then it's a mother still looking how much it's a sufferings. Many animals, mothers, they lost their child, the same as the human beings. And like this, then how much we are doing to the kind of our food, clothes, things, human beings, doing a lot of negative things. So when we are thinking about the productions and trade of the such products, we can understand that even a single sip of the tea cannot but contribute to rebirth in the lower animals. And in this perspective, now what does it mean? Why is Patrul Rinpoche say like this? Because we cannot to stay relaxedly or comfortably and without thinking next rebirth. And we say now we are human being, everything is comfortable, nice, it's conditions. And then it's like relax, and the time is going, month by month, year by year, and the death process is more close, near and near, and life is exhausting. And then in one moment, how we can to extend our life, we need to going to die. And that moment, who can to help to us? Nothing. It's we need to help ourselves. In the Buddhist perspective, maybe we can to say, maybe Lama can help, maybe deities can help, maybe Buddha can help. Buddhas, Lamas, deities, how they can to help? Through the teaching, through the giving methods. Otherwise, what they can do? It is like same as Buddha's message. It's truth. I can to give you methods. It can to help you. You like kind of trust to me, faith me, and then you accepted my methods. Maybe these methods you coming into your heart, and then it's like kind of the help to you very much. It's a similarity. For example, when we want to become the perfect driver, safe driver, and it's like it's like, oh, you are the perfect driver. I don't want to study. Can you give me blessing in order to drive? But I don't want to learn. I don't want to study. Can you give me the? It's possible? Not at all. How this driver, how to drive? These teachers say you should to learn. I can to give you education. How you can use your car, which kind of machine you can to start. We can to call like synchronize. When you travel in this kind of road, this kind of traffic, like kind of sign, rule, everything teach to us. To is like few months, few years we follow these teachers, and then teachers' knowledge we got it. Then we can become the perfect driver, and then we can to drive. Then don't need a teacher. Maybe it's some in the like dangerous situations. Maybe we can to remember this lesson giver. These teachers, what I say, red light, teacher told me I need to stop. And green light, I need to go, teacher told me. Then we can to very safely to traveling and driving into the cities. Like this, everything is, we need to control. Buddha and Kashyapani is like kind of conversations. Of course, Kashyapani is like the last time I remember, one is story I made a little mistake. Kashyapani and the other one, Jata, how do you call the, another one there is, but it's forget it. In the past, like few days ago, I made a little bit the mixed, like Trojan in Tibetan, and this Jatarina or Jata, yesterday the Robin you said, huh? No, Katayana and other one. Huh? Jatari. Yes, I think this is ultimate mistake. Okay, different histories. Jatarina is, I think, he can go to the in the Hungry Ghost Alamas. But anyway, it's like what am I say? I completely forgot it. That is my memories because I have anxiety. Or how do you say? In how do you say it's anxiety, but you know all these signals. If you're talking and suddenly forgot it, and then it's like this. But anyway, I will continue. Okay, it's like this. And it's in our human beings. It's we should to like kind of the taking care. And the Buddha he said that your liberator is yourself. Your guide is your guide. It's like kind of your deity is yourself. When we are in the relatively, we say taking refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha say. This is just relative the source of refugees. Ultimately, we are taking refuge our own Buddha nature. Absolutely, finally, like a kind of broad, like ours, into the state of the Buddhahood is our own Buddha nature. And our own Buddha nature's kind of the gift to us or grant to us ultimate happiness, forever happiness, and permanent happiness. That is comes from our Buddha nature. And therefore, I think it's like we need to urgently, quickly, to a little bit to tidy up, to involve more positive things in a says like, oh, now I am a human realm. I have everything is fantastic. I have good condition, and then to relax, to stay like kind of very comfortably. Then this is comfortable, and this kind of like apparent happiness, comfort, and like kind of this looks seemingly is happy, but this is a very much changeable, momentary, and it's really like kind of the deceptive and very much like a cheating to us. And therefore, maybe it's like we need to think, all is like my life's doing things is a little bit kind of the making the rebirth of the lower animals. Now in the forward, in the futures, I want to try to as much as involve the positive things. And of course, sometimes there's negative involvement, but this kind of to, of course, directly never ever do it. And indirectly, sometimes we do. And sometimes when I'm a driver, it's like I'm swimming into the like kind of the ocean of the insect. In the front of the car is the full of the insect. How much we are killing. And sometimes it's like when we drive, it's like we become the butcher. It's like killer murders. But this one is very difficult to avoid. And also when we are moving, when we are like working in the grass, on the path, how much we are like kind of the stepping on the insect, how much we are killing. And therefore sometimes we say, oh, I never done any negative, I'm a pure, and then I don't need to any positives. This is cheating yourself. Therefore here's Patrul Rinpoche saying like this. Someone say, I don't eat meat, I don't do nothing, negative things, I'm like holy, I'm like kind of the, but no, you need to check again. In our human life, sometimes a lot of connect to the negative activities. And those kind of making the rebirth in the lower alamas, and therefore we need to check the more like this. And now there is more talking about the tsamba. Tsamba is the delicious food, extraordinary. Now look at the tsambas. It's like kind of powder of the barley. And sometimes in the Western, they say, I love it tsambas. Like normally barley need to popcorn, and then you can to make tsamba. Then it's delicious, then no problem. Someone's like direct took the barley and make powder, and then put all what they eat, then stomach, my stomach. Like also it's like when we are wheat, to take direct and to make a powder, of course we say flour. And we eat immediately, I think surely we're sick. But we need to baking and to cook and thereafter. For example, barley, you make popcorn to like kind of in the hot contain. And then you make tsamba, like tsamba powder, it's called the tsamba. Then it's ready, then it's no problem for stomach. And therefore, if you are eating tsamba, take care. To properly to make the popcorn, the barley says. And before it's like the sowing the barley and how do you say, putting in the ground. And the field have to be plowed. Plowed means it's like kind of to digging and to make the nice earth. And like this time, how much we killed the insects. And which is the force to the surface to make nice. And even in Dharma city, we make some a little bit small in the contain, making the vegetables. But inside there, we need some earth, how much we killed. I think I killed a lot. This time is surely it's like to collect some earth, manure, but I don't know result. Maybe if it is grow up, maybe for one lunch, probably. No more than not that, but we put a lot of effort, put water, killing insects. But big kind of the field, when they're sowing, is how much they need to prepare like kind of surface. All the worms, insects living undergrounders to put outside. Outside die like insect put in the or under the earth. So, berries underground, all those living on the surface. Some insect need to live inside like a worm, and everything we put the outside of the ground. And some insect they cannot go to under the ground, and we buried into the ground like this. And after they sowing the barleys, and of course sometimes they put poison, sometimes they kill a lot of insects. And this is not really easy, particularly in the ancient times, wherever the plums ox go, like kind of the now these days we can do machine. In I want to say in Dharma City we have lot of field. When the farmers the sowing, there's a huge machines coming, and then they like kind of the plant or like digging the earth. After these machines go, and behind there is 100 like water birds landing there, pick up the insect. Like this is exactly the same. They are like kind of the birds. Wherever ox go, they are followed by the crows and the small like sea birds, like insect eater, who fed in like instantly on all those small creatures eating pick-ups, like going the round like this. And then it's also when the field are the like irrigated, and to put like kind of the water bring into the field, all the like kind of the aquatic animals. It is like kind of someone's also necessarily to stay in the water, and without water they cannot survive. But when we are like kind of in the field, at the like kind of the irrigated, the water, and then it's those animals they die, and there's a lot in the water are the stranded on a dry land, and all those like kind of the aquatic animals they can to die, where all the creatures living on the like kind of the water living, they die, and then there is land is like the drum, it's like they can go slowly, they how do you say, it's like throw out or bring into the dry land like a drone, and then they are dying. Likewise, at each stage of the sowing in the fields, harvest, and the like kind of the threshing, the number of the beings killed is incalculable. If you think about it, it is almost as if we are eating the powder like insect. If you are eating like one like kind of tsamba full of your bowl, it's like kind of the powder of the insect. And in this perspective, we have much is involved negativities, and this one is like we need to think to quickly to purify it, and like this we need. In the same way, butter, milk, other food, the like kind of the three white foods. Of course, sometimes we say it's like a three white food. It's like butter, milk, yogurt. And when you eat only that, then it's like, oh, I want only eat like kind of this. I'm not doing negative things. And three things, the sweet food, like kind of the sugar, brown sugar, and honey, so on. We consider pure and untainted by the harmful actions, are not so at all. This is not truth. Also, it's like when we take out the milk, butter, yogurt, how much we make suffering to the animals. Same as with sugar. Also, it's like honeys. It's like others' food. We rob it and to make our food. And today is a little bit kind of we early morning get up like this. I'm a little bit want to rest. I'm very sorry. And we can to say it's like half a minute. Okay, half an hour we can to rest. And then it's, what time is 10 o'clock, yes? Okay, 10:30 we can to start. 10:30.